few choice moments. A few choice moments we will invite you to applaud. So welcome to the fall 2022 Zoomers to Boomers Improv Class Showcase. Woo! So audience, you can show appreciation for them by applauding this way. If your camera's on, this is how you applaud in sign language. You can use your hands, do jazz hands. Another way to applaud is if you know how to do reactions on Zoom. You can go to that reaction button at the bottom and there's clapping, you can applaud. So I just did that one. There's a heart if you love something. There's a thumbs up. There's a lot of different reactions that you can do. So you can show your love that way. You can also show your love in the chat. And audience members, I'm going to recommend that you might want to open your chat box because we're doing improv. We're making stuff up in the moment, and we are going to invite your suggestions to help us create some stories. And you'll be doing that through the chat. So there'll just be a couple times that we'll ask you to unmute to cheer for our cast at the beginning and at the end. Otherwise, we ask you to sit back and enjoy and listen while your microphone is off, and to use the chat to ask any questions or to give feedback if there was a scene that you think was particularly wonderful, that you want to make a comment about it, anything like that. All right, so let's see. And Gary, there was a question about Marilyn. She might be switching devices, so we'll see what happens because she was on her way home. But we've got some folks coming in the waiting room. I will let them in. All right, so welcome aboard. If you are new to our Zoomers to Boomers improv community, here's what we're about, in case you don't know. We are intergenerational, international, intercultural. We are all about bringing together people from different generations and cultures around the world through the power and magic of improv. That's what we are about. We're using improv in a few different ways. We're using improv, we're learning how to do improv performance and doing scenes together and learning tips and techniques for that. And we're also learning about applied improvisation. Applied improvisation, what's that? That's using improv for non-performance purposes. That's actually how Gary Ware and I, we are your co-facilitators. That's how we met, through the Applied Improvisation Network of people who are using improv principles and exercises in companies and community groups and schools and hospitals and all kinds of places for training and facilitation and coaching. And it is a wonderful way for people to connect. Because if you think about it, what does it take for people to get up on stage with no script, and they are performing for an audience that is expecting to be entertained, but they don't know what's going to happen because there's no script? Audience, go ahead and type in the chat. What do you think it takes for cast members, for improvisers, performers to get up on stage and do that? That's pretty crazy. No script. What do they need to work together? I see courage. Thank you, Stacy. Anyone else have an idea what it takes? We've got lots of people voting for courage. Okay. Listening, confidence. Yes, yes. All of those things. Guess what? Those things are helpful in life too. With your family, with your coworkers, with your community groups, which is why those of us in the applied improvisation community, we use improv to help people connect, because it's those same principles. So to get us started, we have been learning about improv principles that apply to our work. And I'm going to paste them here in the chat so everybody can see them. I like to call them the 5 agreements of improvisation. And so audience, if you've got your chat box open, you can see them. And I'm going to ask volunteers from among our group to tell you what those are all about, and then you're going to get a chance to meet them. They're going to introduce themselves. So that first one says, accept all offers, yes, and what does that mean? Anyone want to raise your hand and speak to what that means just really briefly? Yeah, Evelyn, what does that mean?
Everything that's offered is valid. Yes, that's absolutely correct. And such. and it validates every offer that's ever made.
Right. Yeah, we accept what our partners create. We don't negate it. We say yes, and we never say yeah, but, because that's like saying no. Awesome. How about the second one? Be present in the moment and really listen with, not just with your ears, but with an open mind and heart. Anyone want to speak to that? How does that apply to improv, listening?
Miguel has her hand up.
Great. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Abigail.
yeah, be present, don't worry about the past or the future, be in the moment and respect your other people that you're working with, with an open mind and a loving heart. Thank you.
Love it. Thanks, Abigail. How about number 3? Trust and co-create and make your partners look good on stage. Let's have one of our younger members weigh in on that. Who's got an idea about that? Pooja, you were talking about that before. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, so basically you, even if the other person makes a mistake, you don't criticize them. You're just doing yes and with them, and plus adding more to it and making it look extremely natural, and appreciating the other person that even that mistake wasn't a mistake. It was just a tool to move on to the next scene.
Absolutely. Thanks, Pooja. All right. She is zooming all the way from India. How about number 4? Be flexible and adaptable to change. Who wants to talk about that one? Anybody? What does that mean to you for improv or for life? Be flexible and adaptable. Yeah, Robin.
Well, to me, for improv and in life too, it means you can't predict what's coming. If you think the other person is going to say, I'm going to eat a cookie, and they say, I'm going to buy an alligator, you have to accept that and be flexible and be like, of course you're going to get an alligator, and the cookie is gone. I don't have to bring it back. I can just let the cookie go.
Right. Shift happens. There's an F in there. Shift happens. Things change, and we have to roll with it. That's true for improv and true for life, right? Look at us online because of the pandemic, but look what we discovered because of it, that we were able to connect with people around the world. All right, our last agreement or principle for improv is to think outside the box and be willing to take some risks. And if we make a mistake, we accept it as a gift. So anyone want to speak to that one, to number 5? And you had your hand up before. Did you want to say anything about that one?
Well, you can't correct something, so you have to go with it. And if you can have a preconceived notion of what you wanted to happen, so
Right.
all about being in the present and accepting what's going on.
Yeah, and Cass, let's show our audience, what do we do when we make a mistake? We embrace it and we celebrate. Are you ready? Go ahead and turn your mics on, Cass. When we make a mistake, 1, 2, 3. Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
Celebrate. You may or may not be able to do that in your regular life, but it works in improv, and we celebrate mistakes as gifts. So I'm going to turn the baton over to Gary for introducing the cast. But before I do that, I just want to say Happy Hanukkah. For those who celebrate Hanukkah, I do. And if any of you are celebrating Hanukkah out there, happy celebration of light. All right, Gary, you are on.
Awesome. All right. Hello, my name is Gary Ware. I'm the other co-facilitator for here for Zoomers and Boomers. And we are going to just take a moment and introduce our cast to you. So in just a moment, one at a time, they're going to say their name and they're going to do a gesture just so you can get to know the various people that are going to be performing tonight. We're going to start with Yael. We're going to end with me. And so let's kick it off. Go ahead. Yael, you start.
Yael.
Pooja.
And
Kat. Jackie.
Ellen.
Marilyn, you're up. Yeah.
Here's Woof Woof.
Don Sloan.
Chris.
Abigail.
So one more time, Barbara.
Barbara.
Yay. Joshua.
Josh, you still with us? We'll come back to him.
Robin.
And I'm Gary. Yay. Awesome. Round of
Yay.
applause for our There's
There he
Josh.
is.
Josh.
Yay. Oh, good. We thought we lost you. And by the way, what we neglected to do before we do our next little presentation for you, which is for you to get to know our players a little bit better. We're going to play a game called That's Me, but we neglected to introduce ourselves, Gary. So Gary and I are the co-facilitators of Zoomers to Boomers Improv. We have been doing this since September 2020, so over 2 years now. And like I said, we met through the applied improvisation community. I am the Zoomer in the pair. I'm sorry, I'm the boomer in the pair. You see, my mouth is not working. I am the boomer. I am 66 years old. I am a baby boomer. You can tell from the gray hair. And Gary is the Zoomer. He'll tell you about himself in a moment. And I've been doing improv for over 20 years now, and it's one of the great joys of my life. And it has taught me so much about life and about connection and relating to people. And I direct several improv troupes and teach classes, both online and in person. And I use it in organizations to help people connect in the workplace. So that's me.
Hello, everyone. Gary Ware. I am an elder millennial. I'm 42 years old. And I've been performing and teaching improv for the last 15 years. And it has taught me so many things, helped me connect with so many amazing people. And had I not done that, I would not be partnered up with Yael. So that is me. I live in Southern California, San Diego to be specific, where I perform and teach weekly.
And I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. So Gary and I have been working together for more than 2 years, entirely online. You know, those of you who don't live in California, it's a long way from the San Francisco Bay Area to San Diego. So our connection is totally online, although we've met face-to-face before. All right, let's meet our cast members in a slightly different way. We play a game called That's Me. I'm going to throw out some sentences, and if it's true for them, their mission is to say, that's me, and you'll get to know about them. Okay. How many people here are in their 20s?
That's me.
Pooja, wake up.
That's me.
She just had a birthday. She just turned 21. She's probably thinking, well, does that count? Yes, you're in your 20s. How many people are in their 30s? Any 30-somethings? They're not here today, but we have had them in this group. Anybody in their 40s?
That's me.
Yay. Who's in their 50s?
Oh, that's me.
Yay. And also Marilyn, who's having some problems with her audio right now. Who's in their 60s? That's me. And who is in their 70s?
Just beginning.
That's me.
Woo! So as you can see, we span quite a few decades. How many people here live on the West Coast of the United States?
That's
me. How many people here live on the East Coast of the United States?
That's me.
Who lives somewhere in the middle of the US between West Coast and
That's me.
Yay. And who here lives in the Philippines?
That's me.
And who lives in India?
That's me.
Yay. And we've had people from other countries as well. We've had folks from Canada and from Uganda, believe it or not, and Australia. It's one of the miracles of being able to connect online. As long as people can be awake at this time, we get people from all over. It's part of the joy of this. How about who is in their very first improv class ever? This was your first time doing improv.
That's me.
Yay. And who has been doing improv for a few years, couple of years?
That's me.
That's me.
And who's been doing improv so long you live it and breathe it, and you can't even remember how long ago you started doing it? That's me. Okay. And how many people like to dance?
That's me.
How many people speak more than one language?
That's me.
How many people like to travel?
That's
Me. And how many people are in an improv class online showcase right now?
That's
Me. Who's getting just a little bit tired of this game? That's me. Okay, yay, give yourselves a hand. So that's our cast. It's a way to just have some fun and get to know people. And now, dear audience, Gary is going to show you one of the ways that we warm up with an exercise called 3 Things.
Hey, yeah, Elle, since we are running late, should we skip that and just jump into our presentations? It's already 45
Yeah,
after.
I'm thinking this is part of how we are flexible. You know what? I think you're right, Gary. Let's do it. We're going to go into our presentations. So we did something very different this time, dear audience members. In the past, we learned all kinds of different improv games and scenes. And at the end of the 8 weeks, we performed them for our audience. And super fun, great. This time we did a slightly different approach. We wanted to do some applied improvisation and tackle some more serious issues to show how can you use improv to tackle social issues. Oh, good, Marilyn is back here. So we divided them into intergenerational teams, 3 teams, where we had a mix of ages, and they had to choose a topic. That was the first difficult thing, right? There's so many issues out there. How do you choose? They had to come to agreement. So we have 3 different topics of these 3 groups, and they had to, after they chose a topic, what they had to do was then pick a format to use that they would present and that could somehow capture this issue and do a scene. And then, and they had several weeks to work on this together. Some of them put in time outside of class too. And they're going to be presenting those scenes for you tonight that are based on social issues. And then after their scene, they're going to talk about their process and what they learned from it, about this process of applied improvisation. So the first group, oh, and audience, we are going to ask you, hold on, I'm trying to multitask here and grab what I need for that first group. I'm making a copy of our story spine at this very moment, folks, and I am going to put it in the chat because our first group is going to need it. Okay, awesome. So audience members, would you please turn your cameras off? Because that's going to help us to focus on the players. And also everybody should be muted except the players. So our first group is 4 people. It is Anne, Kat, Pooja, and Chris. And the topic that they chose, very important topic, is children and access to education. And these folks are from different parts of the world, and they agreed that this is an issue that affects people all over the world, children and education. So they chose 2 different improv games to create a scene for you around the subject of children and education. So first of all, they're going to do something called the mystery intro, right? You're doing that first?
Yes.
Okay. So, and that one you don't need me to direct, right? I'm gonna direct the story spine. Okay,
Correct.
so they're gonna do a process called mystery intro, audience. And what this is about is they, as a foursome, are creating a character. They're each adding another dimension to the character. And then the last person, who I think is gonna be Chris, he is going to become that character. And that character is going to create a story. And they're going to be getting some suggestions from you, audience. So have your chat box open and ready, and they will tell an improvised story. So take it away, team 1, children and education.
Great. So we're asking you to help us develop our character. And to start off with, would you please, and our topic is education, community connection. So in the chat, would you please give me a first and last name?
Yes, and these presentations are all improvised. They decided on the format, they decided on the topic, but they don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows. It's all being made up in the moment.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with Walt Wonderman. I love that name. And so, Anne,
Okay, audience. So we would let you pick an emotion for our character. So can you type any emotion, or it could be a state of mind like confusion or something like that? Ooh. Any more? Okay. Oh, wow, we got a lot of them. Okay, great. I am gonna go with enthusiastic. Thanks everyone for your input. So our character is
Okay.
gonna be enthusiastic. And now I'm gonna, who's doing the
Okay.
I think it's
occupation?
Pooja's turn.
Pooja,
Yeah.
occupation.
Yeah. So can everyone put it in the chat box? What can be the occupation of Walt's Wonderman? Plumber. Police officer, dog catcher, versus director. Okay. So okay, so let's go in with a plumber.
So to recap, Walt Wonderman is a plumber and he is enthusiastic. Was that his trait?
Yeah. Mhm.
Walt Wonderman, the enthusiastic plumber. All right, Chris, you're on.
All right. So my name is Walt Wonderman, and I am very enthusiastic. I actually wanted to be majestic, but as my name goes, I am always wondering, or I am always in wonder of all the things. And plus, I am a plumber, and I am also a plumber that's enthusiastic about my perfume. Hello, guys.
All right. So now I think we're going to, are you doing the story on your own, Chris, or is everybody going to come back? You're doing the story on your own. Okay.
Chris is acting out the story. So
Okay.
each of us will be doing the story fine. So
Okay.
I'll,
You
I'll
guys
start
will,
it off.
you guys will be on mic and he will be on video. Got it.
Yes, yes. Okay, so once upon a time, there was this major plumbing explosion in the tiny town of Wonderville, where Walt Wonderman, the very enthusiastic plumber, went to solve the problem.
Ah, there is an explosion. I am a plumber, but I have a glass cleaner. But I will go. There is an adventure.
And every day, Walt Wonderman would go out so happily and enthusiastically to help the community with their plumbing problems.
Yes, I'm very enthusiastic. I have my perfume. Ooh, I will do the job for you.
But one day he realized that doing mischief and being funny is good and happy, but he also wanted to educate everyone to start doing their own solution for plumbing.
Yes.
Because of that,
I am an avid reader. I have my glass cleaner and my book because I want to share the practice of mindfulness.
because of that, at the day that he went out with his book to teach people, there was a heavy rainstorm, and then the book got soaked. So he thought to himself, I'll consult an oracle.
Okay, Miss Oracle, the rain did not stop. My book is wet, but I still smell good. Oracle, can you please hear me out? I want to do something. I want to teach. I want to teach kids.
And because of that, he became the most sought after plumbing teacher in the southern hemisphere of the world. And it was like the Pied Piper, with students following him all over with plumbing equipment.
Come on. I have something to share. I have found my purpose. It's not of worldly things, but it is wisdom and the power of sharing, plus my perfume.
And because of that, he became so famous that he started making communities all around the world, where communities were teaching communities, educating them regarding plumbing.
It is
Until
not about the plumbing, but it is about helping, being open not only to ourselves, but also to share this wisdom and my perfume.
until finally other people started seeing the pattern of Walt Wonderman's generosity in teaching people to take over his job. The pattern continued among other educators.
And ever
I will
since
take my
then,
book and my tool. Go forth into
yes,
the world.
and ever since then, people all over the world were teaching each other and connecting, and they would even have dinners and connect and teach.
And I have my bell. Quiet, class.
And the moral of the story is education is not only a thing that could be taught in the four walls in the school or in the classroom. Education is everywhere that you go. Even a plumber can educate so much to you. So education is everywhere. When you find it, just grab it.
And because of education, we could reach the moon.
Yay, let's have a big hand for our team. So awesome. So audience, they were using two different improv games, one called Mystery Intro, where they work together to create a character. And the second one is Story Spine, where they use this template created by Ken Adams, who is a wonderful improv teacher and director in the San Francisco Bay Area, and creating an improvised story. So that was awesome. So just take like a minute, because we have to pretty soon go on to the next group. But do you want to just summarize your process and what you learned from this?
Yeah, it's really not about what a person is or what he does. It's not limiting, as long as there's this common goal. And like for me, I have my daughter with me.
Oh,
Made me realize the importance of having a connection, not only to oneself, not only to the immediate people around, but it's also starting a community. And that community, I don't think that any community would be detrimental to the making a change. And you know what? I do what I do. Pooja does what she does. Anne does what she does. Kat does what she does, because we want to make a difference. We share one breath. We share one love. We share one earth. Thank you.
wow. Oh my gosh. That was profound. Audience, please give them some love. You can write your reactions in the chat. You can press your reactions on your Zoom panel. And big hand for team one. And now we're going to bring on team two. I'm going to hand the facilitation baton to Gary. And he's doing double duty, folks.
Yay.
He's also our tech person, and he's spotlighting and unspotlighting people. So I'll riff here for a moment while he's taking care of that. And I'll tell you who's in team two. Robin, Barbara, and Jackie. They're going to be talking about bridging the divide across groups.
All right. Yes. One more round of applause for team one.
Woo!
Awesome. All right. And then we are bringing up team two as my computer is slowly allowing me to click buttons.
You can tell
Yay.
this is improvised, right, folks?
Awesome. Yay.
There's Robin, there's Barbara. We just need Jackie and we're set to go.
All right. Great. Here she comes. All right, cool. Yay. All right, we have group two. Group two, their focus is going to be bridging the divide across groups. They're going to be doing a scene and they're going to be using an improv a game technique called rant and rave that I will be directing them throughout their conversations. And I will let them kick it off to get some suggestions. And then they're going to start their scene. And then I'm going to be helping them out by cueing them when to rant about a topic, when to rave about a topic. So from group two, who would like to get your suggestions?
I will.
All right, Robin.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Gary. We are going to be improvising a local small city council meeting, and we need a number of suggestions. So everyone try and type in at least one of simple city problems. No big grand problems, just simple city problems that have to be solved in our meeting today.
Not enough candy stores.
All right.
Wow.
All
So many
right.
awesome things to choose from, y'all.
Our president, Marcia, is going to begin.
So yes, as the president, I'd like to tackle one of the most important topics or problems we face in this city, which is poop on the sidewalks. And I really think that this has become a horrible problem for our community. There's too much poop on the sidewalks from dogs, humans, goats, sheep, just too much poop. People are stepping in it. They're slipping in it. It's causing horrible odors. I mean, come on, we really need to do something about this horrible problem that our city's facing. I mean, if we keep this up, you know, people won't want to visit our city, and people won't want to, you know, we'll lose all the money we're getting from tourism, and it's just too much for all of our community members. And I really think we have to do something about it. And it's already kind of getting into the water supply. It's really something we need to change here. And I think that also it's becoming a problem for the other animals too. Like they don't even want to walk outside.
Let's hear a rant by Paula, who is the city council treasurer.
Well, obviously, the most important thing, the problem that we're facing is there are not enough hugs in this community. People are walking past each other. People are not hugging. What is going on? Look, we are a small community. We love each other. There's no question about that. And yet we just walk by each other. Nobody's hugging. It's tragedy. It's just simply a tragic situation. More hugs are needed. We have to make a law.
Paula.
Oh, but there is some advantage to not hugging, because if with COVID, come on, don't forget, common cold is also a huge problem. So really, we should keep our distance and be happy that we're all not breathing the same air. So there is super strong advantages to not hugging. And so I totally understand why we're not doing it. And it's because also some people, you know, there's some bad breath things going on, some pit smells, you know, things can be bad with hugging. It's not all great, that's for sure.
All right, we can go back to the city council president to keep this meeting going. Go ahead.
Am I going back to the subject of too much poop on the streets?
Well, you're the president, so you could hear what Paula had to say, and you could get back to the topic you can.
Okay, so I can make my own choice.
Yes, go ahead.
You know what? I think maybe Phyllis should, the treasurer should kind of go into an issue she wants to go into.
Yes, I really would like to address the issue of that there's not enough candy stores in our town. That is a real issue. We want to have things that are good for children, to encourage them to be part of our community. And if we don't have any candy stores, then they feel like they're being ignored. And of course, candy, adults like candy too, especially.
Rave, Phyllis, rave.
There's a real issue with obesity, and too much candy can really make that problem much worse. So we really maybe shouldn't have too many candy stores, because that just encourages people to eat food that's unhealthy. They should be eating more fruits and vegetables and calcium and things, not so much candy.
Okay, city council president, how about you rant on that topic?
About the candy store?
Candy stores.
Yes, it's completely, it's a horrible epidemic that's sweeping our community here. There's children with tooth decay showing up to the dentist office, and it's really just a tragedy here. They're biting into these jaw breakers and breaking their jaws and crunching into these lollipops, and it's just it's not a great thing for our community. How will the children, grow up to lead lives that into successful individuals to contribute to our society? And this is really something we should really be working on as a group here, because it's our children really that are having their lives destroyed by these candy stores.
Or Paula, how about you rave on that topic?
Listen, children are going to be fine. We can teach dental hygiene. They need candy. Listen, look, Halloween happens once a year. If kids had their way, it would happen 12 times a year. Candy stores are essential to the joy of childhood. There's just no question about the fact that we need more candy stores in our town, because these kids don't have anywhere to spend their allowance.
All right, let's
now.
wrap it up and have you three come to a conclusion, since you've heard multiple sides of that argument.
Well, I think we can agree that there should be less poop on the streets.
I vote for that one.
Who votes for less poop on the streets? Say aye.
Yes.
I agree. Yes.
And on the topic of candy stores, I'm wondering if we could maybe reduce the amount of candy stores without completely eradicating them. All in agreement, say aye.
Uh-oh.
Well, okay, I think, how about this? Since we don't have enough that we've already agreed on, maybe we'll just keep it status quo. We won't add more, but we will add some dental hygiene classes.
I think that's a great point, Paula. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, Ed Seed. Yeah, give them a round of applause. Awesome. That was beautiful. All right. Real quick, just a quick thought from each of you real quick on what was that process like? How did you come to your sort of conclusion? And yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Jackie, process.
Oh, our process, I think all of us did a really great job of like coming up with this topic and figuring out the structure of our skit, by just kind of like rooting for each other and being flexible and kind of honoring everyone's idea, but also being honest with kind of what we think would work and didn't work. So that was like a really awesome intergenerational group thing that I think experienced as a part of our process.
And then Barbara, what did we learn?
So I think in terms of learning, the rant and rave exercise is really good because it forces you to see both sides of a particular issue. And if you can at least see what the other person's viewpoint, then you hopefully can come to a better understanding.
And then mine, my wrap up is on the application of this topic, which is trying to bridge the divides. And I don't think I have to tell anyone that that's a really humongous issue. But what we figured out is, you know, even just the simple phrase of we can all agree, there's got to be something where we can all agree, even if it's at such a surface level. Although we do recognize that there are times when it's best just not to discuss things, but we're hoping to see more compromise, which is really the solution to bridging the divide.
Yay, awesome.
Yay, awesome. Well done, group 2. Wow. We have one group left, an audience. You can show them your love in the chat or with your reaction buttons, while Gary is unspotlighting group 2 and spotlighting group 3 is our biggest group, and they're dealing with a really big subject. So group 3, Marilyn, Evelyn, Abigail, Josh, and Don, group of 5, and they tackled the issue of homelessness. Pretty serious, big issue around the world. And they also are going to use the story spine for their presentation. So I'm getting that in the chat right now. There it is, and they can see it. And they will be directed by one of their team members, Don, longtime improviser, and he's going to direct their scene and I think also get a suggestion from the audience. Is that right, Don? You're going to get the suggestion?
Yep, I will.
Awesome. So audience, you can follow along as they use the story spine as our first group did, how they use these prompts, but they are making up this story in the moment. They don't know what's going to happen yet. And you are going to weigh in by giving them a suggestion in a moment that Don will ask you for. So get your fingers ready to type.
Marilyn, need you to start your camera.
I did.
Oh,
So
not a
we're
problem.
missing one of our group members. She's got a problem with her camera.
She's still up above. She needs to be spotlit.
Oh, is she on? Oh, hold on. I will get everything. Hold, please.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there she is.
That's
There you are. I
Improv.
see you.
And we need Don.
Yep, and Don's coming in right now.
Okay. All
There we
right.
are. Got everyone.
Group 3 is going to talk about homelessness. Take it away, Don.
Imagine a city emergency has been declared by the mayor of Los Angeles and San Francisco. The shelters are full. Housing associations are complaining, and they're the ones who have the power. Hotels have not been arranged. They're dismantling the settlements and the encampments as we speak. We need some suggestions from our beloved audience about different character types that might be involved. Examples, a homeless professor, or a social worker, or someone who's on that committee. Please put those into the chat now. You guys can choose any ones that you want. And we start our story. Evelyn, once upon a time.
Once upon a time, there was the penny pandering homeless encampment on the streets right there by the freeway. And they were told they had to disband and relocate or leave town.
Abigail, every day.
Oh, and every day we have to go in the under the tent. It's raining. There's nothing we could do but hide from the horrible storms of life. and just cry. Everything is wet from tears and wetness.
Josh, but one day,
But one day, every homeless people in that encampment went to become an artist. They painted the walls. They bought a guitar, and they made every Sunday a holiday for them as an art holiday.
Miriam, because of that, you're on mute.
Yeah, Marilyn, turn your mic on.
And because of that, some people started to develop more compassion for people that ended up homeless and realized that it wasn't always their fault or due to alcohol or drugs.
Evelyn, because of that.
And because of that, the chef from the local bakery decided to send out bread every morning and a cup of coffee for everyone to drink and wake up happy.
Until finally, Abigail.
Until finally, everybody got shelter and they had to go on food stamps, but at least they have shelter now.
And Miriam, ever since then,
Ever since then, I've tried to do what I can to help people when I'm able to, because I don't like to see people going without food or out there in the cold and rainy weather.
and Josh, hit us with the moral of the story.
And the moral of the story, if you do not have a house, just play guitar and paint the walls.
Simple answers are the best. Yeah.
Hey. Okay, well done. Audience, give them some love. And who's going to just give us your wrap up of what you learned from this experience from your team?
Oh, yes. I learned that, homeless is a tough topic. I actually work advocacy with the homeless, and, they're trying to, last year they tried to put homeless in hotels, then it worked out so good. And now the police are trying to enforce it, and there are pros and cons to that, because the police are aggressive. But it's a work in progress. Like, and like our group, teams do help, and everybody together, we could put a stop to ending homeless. Thank you.
Anyone else want to weigh in on what you learned from this process of using improv? Yes.
I realized that homelessness is like an age-old problem. In the 30s, it was the hobos and the railway bums, and there's been this pocket of like a ranch hand might have been homeless at one time. So it seems to evolve through the history of at least this country, and I'm sure many others.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was impressed that this group, they were sending emails back and forth and video clips and articles and really digging into the subject of homelessness, which is what we hoped when we decided this session to take this class beyond just improv performance and into the realm of applied improvisation, of how we can use it to try to help heal the world. So let's have a hand again for this team. Wonderful work on your
Thank
story
you.
about
Thank
homelessness.
you.
And Gary, we can bring everyone back, and we are going to wrap up. We are towards the end of our evening. It's kind of hard to believe. One thing that we always do at the end of each of our weekly classes, and it's one of my favorite things ever, is what we call our Spotlight Dance Party. Gary is our DJ. Like I said, he's doing double, triple duty here. He's co-facilitating and he's running tech, because he's an amazing multitasker. And maybe that comes with being a millennial, I don't know. But he is going to put on a piece of music, and he is going to spotlight different members of our cast. They'll get really big on the screen, and it's like follow the leader. Everybody's going to follow that person, and we're going to dance. And so cast members, if you want some room to dance, this might be the time to stand up and adjust your camera. Audience, at some point, you're going to be invited. I think Gary's going to give you a prompt and say, audience, go ahead and turn on your cameras and dance with us. I am going to suggest that everybody have their microphone off for this so that we can hear the music. But cast members, you need to have your cameras on, and audience will be invited. Gary, is that right? You're going to invite them.
Yep.
You'll tell them when to turn cameras on. Okay, over to Gary for Spotlight Dance.
All right, let's kick this party off. As Yael mentioned, you're going to see some people on the big screen. When you see them spotlighted, go ahead, copy their dances. Follow the leader. Here we go. Yael, you're up.
Hot air balloon that could go to space with the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along.
So Ann, you're on. You're the leader.
Like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that.
Cat.
Go, Cat.
Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine.
Jackie.
No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness
Hey,
is.
Don and his cat.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down.
Chris.
Ain't nothing. Bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down. Can't nothing. Bring me down. I said, take down. Bring me down.
Marilyn and Woof Woof. Yeah.
Bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down. Can't
Go,
nothing.
Abigail.
Bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along
Oh, another
if
stuffed
you
animal.
feel
Nice.
like a room without
Barbara.
because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along
Good
if
Josh.
you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along
Yeah, Robin.
if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Gary.
Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
Everyone
Turn on
dance.
your camera, audience. Join us. Just dance. No leader. Just dance.
Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down. Can't nothing.
All righty then. Yay.
Oh my goodness.
Back over to you, Yael.
My
I
favorite part
think I
of
lost
class.
20 pounds. I think I lost 20 pounds on that.
Yeah. All right. So to close up, here's what I'd like to do. We've spent 8 weeks together. Some of these folks are repeat participants. They've come back over and over again over the last couple of years, and some were new and joined us this time. But it's been quite a wonderful journey, and this time taking that extra step of using improv to address social issues. So such a wonderful experience. And to summarize it, I'm going to ask them to do something extremely difficult, to say one word about something they're taking away from this experience. That's hard. One word. And we're going to go in reverse order. Audience members, can you turn your cameras off for just a moment, because I need to focus on just the class participants. We'll have you turn them on again in just a moment. But we're going to start with Robin. What's one word that you're taking away from this 8-week experience?
That's great. I get all the words to choose from. I am taking away flexibility.
Nice. Flexibility. And Josh, what are you taking away?
I'm taking away all your smiles and all your heart is inside my hypothalamus right now.
Oh, wow.
I
Nice.
will always remember you.
Smiles. Barbara, what are you taking away? Oh, turn your microphone on, Barb.
We want to take Josh's laugh with us
Josh.
to the new year.
He's got such a wonderful, infectious laugh. Thank you, Barbara. Abigail, what are you taking?
Oh, yes, I'm taking away resilience because we keep coming back for more.
Resilience. Yes. Chris, how about you?
I'm going to say a Filipino word, and it's kumpiyansa, and that means confidence.
Kumpiyansa. Kumpiyansa. Thank you. Wow. Don.
Josh. And everybody else.
You're taking Josh with you.
And learning stuff and improv and the world of, yeah.
Nice. Marilyn, what are you taking?
To be more flexible, even when the phone dies twice during a showcase and you can't fix the lighting, that you just go with it and try to not let it cause a panic attack.
Yes, you kept getting knocked off and you kept coming back. Nice work, Marilyn. All right. Evelyn, what are you taking?
Adaptability.
Adaptability. Thanks. Jackie, AKA Marcia.
It's really hard to choose one word. Can I choose 3 words?
Okay.
I just felt like this was such an open-minded, accepting community. So those are my 3.
Thank you. Awesome. Kat.
Universality.
Ooh, nice. Anne.
Connection across the universe. The roads.
Connections across the universe. Pooja.
I'm taking a true collab, which is trust and collaboration.
Oh, is that a word you made up?
Yes, because it was only one word. That's why I just had to.
So you just combine them, of course. That's improv. Yay. And Gary, what are you taking away?
Trust. Just trust.
Nice. And what I'm taking away, I think it's the same thing that I said earlier tonight when we had our class warm up, and that is joy and gratitude. Right? Absolute gratitude for this group. You are the highlight of my week working with you. I'm going to miss you until our next session. And dear audience, speaking of our next session, dun, da, 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 look in the chat. Here's some information. We are going to be back for our spring session. We're taking a little bit of a break, but we will be back Mondays, the same time, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. In March and April, so March 6th through April 24th. That's the 8-week class, but we're also having a special half-day drop-in workshop for anyone, all levels, on Sunday, March 5th, and that's 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Pacific time again. There's information there for you to find out more about our program, Zoomers to Boomers Improv, our website, our Facebook page, and my email address. And you see at the bottom there, it says scholarship donation link. About half of our participants are on scholarship, are participating because of the generosity of people who have given to our scholarship fund, because we don't want finances to be a barrier to anyone. So if you are able to and can donate to our scholarship fund, this is that time of the year where people are thinking about donations. Please do consider us. We're not a 501c3 nonprofit, so it's not tax deductible, unfortunately. We may get there one day, but it is a good thing to do to support these fine people as you see before you. And let's do our final thank you bow. And thank you, audience, for being patient and staying a few minutes extra. We're going to do our final bow, and we'll see if there's any questions from our audience. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes, Anne! Woo!
Yes, and
You guys all rock. Love you all. All right. So audience, do you have any questions for our participants?
I just want to say thank you to all my family, Pam, Judy, Brooklyn Cat, and April, all the people I invited. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
audience,
my
turn
friends. Thank you, Sophia, Lily. Thank you, guys.
audience, turn your cameras on and your mics on. Audience, this is your chance to yell and scream and applaud for these people. Go ahead, everybody, turn your microphones on. Cast members, audience, everybody turn those mics on. Cheer.
Wonderful, wonderful.
You all did a great job. I'm very
work,
proud of
good
you.
job,
Very
everybody.
imaginative.
And if
Very
you
Thank
have,
you. Gaily.
Thank you, Gail,
Abigail.
for inviting me.
if you have questions, please put the questions in the chat because we can't hear you all at the same time. You could cheer at the same time, but questions, go ahead and type in the chat. We're going to stay here for a few extra minutes. The cast is going to stay after and do a little celebration. But audience members, anyone have a question for them about this experience of intergenerational, international improv?
If you don't know how to write in the chat, I guess you could just raise your hand or just speak.
Yeah, if you don't know how to use the chat, you could raise your hand. Anyone have a question? And we'll call on you and you can ask a question. And nice to see some previous participants here. Hi, Christina. You don't have your camera on, but I see your name. Christina has been in our group in the past. Nice to see you. Oh, Sophia would love to join next time. Sophia, please email me. You see my email address there, yael@zoomersboomersimprov.com. Shoot me an email. I'll put you on our list and we'll send you the information about the next class and about workshops. Any more questions? Going once, going twice. Okay, we're gonna put on our final music. We're gonna say goodbye to our lovely audience. Let's applaud our audience, Cass. Woo! Thank you, audience. And Cass, stay here. We're gonna do a little Cass party. So Cass, stay on. Gary's gonna send our audience away with love. Thank you for coming. Bye, audience. We love you.
All of the people around us, they say, can they be that close? Just let me state for the record, we're giving love in a family dose. We are family. I got all my sisters. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Sing it to me. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Living life is fun, and we've just begun to get our share of this world's delight.
All right. So our audience has left.
Good job, everyone. I have a question after all these years. Can you explain to me how a mistake is a gift?